Hey guys, welcome back to another video in this channel. So, today we got the response that we were looking for. I'm pretty sure there was a mistake on my part that I forgot to add the links last week. Because now, as you guys can see right here, we have a lot of submissions. 6 guys submitted just today, from yesterday to today, so that was great. So today we're going to continue with our portfolio submission, and as soon as we finish today's portfolio submission, I am gonna keep this link open, okay? So the link that you're seeing down here right now will be open from now until December 17th. So if you want to get your work featured and reviewed on our channel, make sure to click the link down here in the comments, or not the comments, the description of the video, and submit a link like this guy's right here. So we're gonna start with Prathamesh Jathav. Again, hopefully I'm saying that name correctly. Hi, myself, Prathamesh Jadhav. Love your work, and you're the best teacher we got. Love to learn from you. Thank you very much. I don't think I'm the best teacher out there, but I really enjoy what I do, and hopefully I've been able to inspire you guys. So let's take a look. Okay, cool. So we start with our character from the demon tutorial that we did a couple of, I think this was last year as well. For those of you that are not aware, this is one of our courses. I think it's called creature creation for games, and or demon character creation or something like that. This is a full pipeline like process. So I do think this is like an intermediate level course. If you're just starting with 3D, I might recommend holding on to this one a little bit more until you are more familiar with the softwares, because we use Maya, ZBrush, Photoshop, Substance Painter, and Unreal Engine 4 at the end. So there's a lot of softwares here, but this looks good, man. There's a couple of anatomy things that I would like to change, like the face. It looks different to the one that I did. This one looks a little bit more elongated on the front, which is not a bad thing. However, anytime we make changes, we need to ask ourselves, why are we doing these changes? Not just do the changes because we want to, right? There has to be I like to call it a justification, right? Like an explanation. And one of the things that I immediately see is that due to the elongation of the face, now the jaw over here is very thin. So if he were to bite onto something hard, like a bone or something, his jaw will probably break, okay? So we need to give it like a really, really big jaw over here, and probably like a little bit of a like tougher neck, so that it looks like he could handle like a big bite, okay? So it's kind of like that's more design process and technique wise. It's really good. This one, I love fantasy models. Looks good. Some of the objects or of the assets are a little bit wonky. For instance, like the bandages here on the feet look like way too thin, and they don't seem to be hugging the surface properly. Take a look at one of the videos that we did during the Halloween week, where I did the Invisible Man. I show a technique over there that it's very helpful to do this sort of thing, like bandages. Not the mummy that we did. It was an interesting approach, but the Invisible Man, I think we did a cleaner, or we had a clean result. For this kind of stuff, like in real life, as you know, like clothing and stuff, it's really thin. But in 3D, when you have something that's super thin, it usually doesn't read as well, okay? So my advice is always give it a little bit more thickness than you would normally do in real life. For instance, like this patch right here, the cape, like give it a little bit more thickness so that it reads a little bit better in 3D. That's one of the things that we need to do, because those kind of things don't like translate well. Now, I do know that these are older things, a year ago, so let's take a look at some of your newer things. Okay, this is your show reel. I'm gonna skip over this. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be showing some of this, guys, as well. This is a good one. I like this one. I would probably like position this, guys, in such a way that it looks like it's falling and not just like stiff. And this sort of thing, I used to do that a lot when I was starting as a student, where I would add like a backdrop and try to have it like a matte painting and stuff. If you're not like super good at matte painting, it's sometimes better to keep it clean, like this. Like, I would rather see the hammer just clean, like the back or gray background, than adding things that will take away from the main piece. So that's a very good lesson for any kind of portfolio work. If you're gonna add something that's not gonna be as good as what you're showing, then probably don't add it. Like, don't add something that's gonna detract from the main thing, okay? Unless all of them are gonna be like super well done and they will elevate the whole piece, then of course that's good. But usually I tend to go towards the side of caution and only have on my render what I know will look nice. Reference and 3D work. These are great exercises. You're the second person in this review that I've seen doing this. where did you guys get this from? Because this is an excellent exercise. I'm not sure if there's like a teacher or like a tutorial out there that suggests doing this sort of stuff, but it's a really, really good exercise to take a picture of something that's in your house or close to you and try to replicate it. There are some inconsistencies in scale. There's things missing, so like the trophies here. Oh no, the trophies are there. But yeah, like so, like take a look at this. Like this shelf right here, it's bigger and it's centered, and on this one it seems to be smaller and a little bit to the side. Same for the calendar, like, or this, I'm not sure if it's a calendar or like a picture, but this one right here, it's a little bit bigger over here, and like the distance between the areas, those are the kind of things that you need to take into consideration. And I know that you do have the nice like eye for detail, because like the hour on the clock is the exact same hour. But yeah, like don't go inventing things. See, for instance, like this guy right here, I see that you took some artistic liberties and you duplicated the buttons right here. Don't do that. Like if you're following a reference, you're supposed to do exactly what the reference has, okay? So don't go inventing things. Follow what the reference has. This is a good exercise. I wouldn't add it to my portfolio. Like I would probably not have it on my art station. Facebook, Instagram, that's fine. But yeah, this is great. Product, that's great. This is great. Clean, nice. No objections there. This is really good. I've seen this one before. I think there's like a tutorial or something out there. I have done this model actually before. Main recommendation that I give everyone about the metal edgeware: don't go crazy with it. You can see that right now the metal edgeware is everywhere, and you're using a rust for the metal edgeware instead of like a shiny surface. Remember, when you scratch something on the corners, you are gonna get this sort of like damage thing, and you're gonna be exposing the raw material, and the raw material should be very clean. So you're usually gonna have like a very light and shiny part of the model. Not every material does this, but for metal, it's usually that way. And yeah, remember, use the cloud technique. I've been using that technique several times in some of the substance files. I think last week on the lighthouse when we were painting the windows, go check that one out. I show you how to multiply two masks inside of substance so that you can eliminate certain areas of the rust and it looks a little bit more natural. So it's not like everywhere. But that's a good model. This one's very cool. I'm always surprised by people doing organics. I haven't tried doing it like an organic render. Was this model or was this an image? Because if it's model, like props to you, my friend. This looks very good. Like the texture looks good. There's like macadamia. We call them macadamia nuts, I think. Like these are great. Just increase your render samples. They're really low quality, so I would definitely go for like higher renders for this, guys. If you're learning, yeah, if you're learning Blender, you should be doing this sort of stuff. Yeah, I have mine over here. You guys gonna see it? This is mine. So just like traditional, like following the tutorial, I'm also learning Blender because I know that it's a good tool to have as an option. Yeah, this looks good. Again, probably not something that I would add to my portfolio. Careful here with the tiling of the textures. Looks a little bit weird, but good nonetheless. Okay, this is good. This good. Texture could use a little bit more work. I can see some discrepancies on the scale of the textures. Like the steps here have a very big texture, and then like the wood here is also like a very small texture. Like I'm seeing like the tiles inside of the tiles. So careful there. And lighting, you definitely need to work a little bit on the lights, because even if you're going for like an overcast sort of shot, having a direction light will be really helpful. I can see that you're using an HDR probably or something like that, but this background again is not really helping. So if you already have like tree models, just instance them across and create a small forest with them. I know render time is gonna be way higher, but yeah, this could look a lot better if we can improve the render a little bit. But this is it, man. Like you're in a very good shape. I think you're in a very good position. Most of this works seem to be nice, or they're nice to me. I mean, I'm not sure if you're already working. It kind of seems like you are, and if you are, then just keep polishing. Pick something, because I definitely can see that you're doing product, you're doing character, you're doing environment. So pick whatever you like the most and whatever you want to excel at, and keep pushing on that in that regard. Okay. From what I can tell here, you're really good at characters. Like you have most of the basic proportions and anatomy done, so you can go there. Product, you're really good at product modeling. Environment seems to be right now like the weak link. It's not bad, but again, it needs a little bit of improvement. But that's it, my friend. Thank you very much. I'm sorry that I couldn't review yours yesterday. Yours was the one that I unfortunately deleted. But thank you for submitting again. Let's continue now with Andrew Bakatan. Read it, please. Of course I will read it. Hello, Abraham. I hope you're doing great. I am, thank you. I'm still trying to get into the industry in film and games, especially AAA game studios, and I'm struggling to land my first job. I was wondering if you could take a look at my portfolio, and of course. So, landing a job, guys, that's one of the things that even if someone tells you that they know or have the secret code to it, it is a little bit tricky. It's all about connections, like who you know. It's about opportunities, like making sure things line up. And I think one very important thing is managing expectations. And I think this applies to pretty much everything in life, right? So I'll take a look at the portfolio and then I'll go a little bit more over that. So this looks good, man. This looks good. The texture here looks a little bit low quality, but the assets look good. They look good, yeah. That's nice. Okay, let's see the topology. A little bit high. That's fine. I mean, if you're going for like AAA, it's still a little bit higher than you might need, especially like on these steps right here. You could definitely like delete a couple of edge loops over there, and you'll be fine. This is closer to what we normally get, but it's not the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, this is clean topology, man. This is good. I like that one. Okay. Nice, nice. The cow web. Did you use a plugin? I'm pretty sure you used the plugin, right? I've seen plugins like floating around on how to like randomly generate this kind of things. Oh, you used planes. Wow, that's crazy, man. Congratulations. It looks really good. I thought it was a plugin, like actual curves going from one point to another. Looks really good, man. Looks really good. Like the cow whips look really good. I think we could have added a little bit more variation on the textures for the jars here. I mean, just to show something like a little bit different, but everything looks good. Like from a cinematic perspective, it's nice. Art challenge, Maya, texture and substance. Yeah, this is good. Okay, here's where we're gonna start having some. What will be my? I think this is the feedback that I can give you. Whenever we're working on something, whenever we're doing some sort of piece like this one right here, it's very important that we find something that we want to showcase, okay? So it's not good to try to cover a lot of stuff on the portfolios, because then our attention kind of gets diluted, and we deliver something that is just all over the place. So I see this piece and I see like a rock work, I see trees, I see a little asset here, I see the IVs, which look really cool, and I can see that you're using, it looks like planes. Are you using planes? Yes, right? Like this planes right here. So it's too much. Like there's nothing that I'm seeing in this piece that tells me this is the main focus of the piece. If the main focus of the piece is the tree, keep it simple everywhere else. Like we don't need as much ivy over here. Make a couple of rocks that are a little bit cleaner and just focus on those rocks. I'm seeing here that you're using Quicksilver Bridge, which is fine. Like using assets from the internet, it's fine. But if you're gonna be like kid bashing a scene, then I'm not going to be looking at your ability to create the models or the textures. I'm going to be looking at your ability and your artistic eye on composition, on storytelling, on visual like cues and identification. So here, it's just and I'm not saying this in a bad way. It's just noise, right? There's visual information everywhere. So again, there's information here, and there's nothing that tells me this is the important thing, except for maybe the little lamp right here. But then again, it's very overwhelming, right? In regards to all of the elements. So cleaning the scene, like looking at this tree looks good. I like it. The lamp is good. It looks good. The rocks, not bad, but finding how to properly set up a scene that showcases all of this, I think that would be really good for this particular portfolio piece, okay? And now let's go with this one, which I saw the first, and I was really looking forward to getting into it. Okay, good. Okay, there's an animation. Let's take a look. Nice. Worked on a project to add onto my demo reel before the year ends. This was 16 hours ago. Nice. I really want to become an environment artist that would work in AAA games too. This project was inspired by many things, but Uncharted 4 was a big part of it. Okay. So here's a nice trick, guys. And this is something that I admire from the American culture. I'm not American myself. Most of you know I am Mexican. And each culture around the world, we all have certain things that are part of our culture, right? Ways to be or behave. And there's one thing that really surprises me about the Americans. And I'm saying this in a good way. Hopefully no one takes this offensively. But there's like all of my American, like not students, classmates and stuff, like all of the schools and everyone, they have a very high confidence. Like they're really their esteem, their self-esteem is really high. And I remember teachers would tell us that that's a good thing, of course, to have good self-esteem, but it's a good thing in the art industry, because you want to project an image or a view of positivity, right? Like you want people to see your work and see you as great things, even if they're not great yet, or they're in the process of becoming great. And that's a little bit of a selling point. Like you have to sell yourself as a successful artist. So one of the things that they recommended was, don't play this sort of card. Like, I really want to become an environment artist. I know you do, but don't tell them. Just tell them, hey, this is a great environment I work on. I spent X amount of time. I did this, learn a lot along the way, blah, blah. But don't. I'm having a hard time saying or finding the words for this. Like, we don't want people to feel sorry about us, right? We don't want to be those artists like, oh yes, I'm just a new artist, and hey, could you please take a look at my work? And no, be confident about it. Be proud of your work. Never undersell your work. That was the thing that our teachers used to tell us a lot. Like, always speak of your work as if this thing right here that we're seeing is in the same level as Uncharted. Like, you have to think that way. You have to sell your work that way, because of course people that know about like the Uncharted quality will be able to tell which things are still missing. But people that don't know about that will be able to see that you're really confident about your work, and they know that you're knowledgeable and that you have a good level, and it's just a way to project yourself in the art world. So I know that it kind of sounds like we're trying to what's the word, to trick someone, but it's not tricking. It's just never underselling your work. We as artists are really self-conscious about our work, and we know where the issues and the mistakes are. Don't tell your audience. Don't tell them. Let them find them out. If they find something that you agree with, then yeah, just say, oh yeah, you're right, I need to improve on that. But if they don't mention it, why would you say that something on your work is bad if they didn't notice it, right? You know what I mean, guys? So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. It's a little bit about, it doesn't have to do a lot with art. It's more about like self projection and stuff like that. But it's important. It's important for us as an artist, because, my friend, this is great. Like, if a student right now on my environment classes showed me this, he's good to go. Like, he has everything he needs to start working on the industry. Like, no questions asked. So yeah, I mean, this is a great piece. You're doing the proper technique, like heat bashing. Of course, there's anatomy things that we can fix. Of course, there's like maybe some tiling issues, or like this guy over here, anatomy as well. Maybe having like nicer rocks. There's things that you can definitely do. But this is great, man. Like, believe me, this is a really good. I'm gonna give you a like, because it's amazing. Can I give you a like? How do I like? There you go. I like this work. So yeah, great job. Now, going back to what I was talking about with your particular work, my friend. Opportunities, connections, and self-projection, which is what I was mentioning right now. Okay, so you need to always talk about your work as if it's the best work out there. Connections, you need to get out there. Look at online groups. Look if there are any meetings, like Comic Cons and stuff like that, where studios are recruiting. Going to LinkedIn, going to ArtStation, and you're gonna have to send like your resume and your portfolio everywhere. That's exposure is the best option right now in the digital world era. Unless you have a known like acquaintance or something. Now, this is the difficult part, and it's very difficult for me to share with my students here in Mexico. Mexico is not a big industry for games, and there's a lot of students in my classes that tell me, hey, I want to work for a triple A game industry. Well, you're gonna have to migrate. You're gonna have to go somewhere else: Canada, United States, Europe, Asia. Like, there's so many other places you're gonna have to go, because your future for a AAA company, it's not here. So you need to be aware of that. You need to be aware that maybe you're gonna have to do something that's gonna get you out of your comfort zone, like extremely in a very extreme way. But that will be your journey in this industry. Okay, so I don't have the answers for the industry like navigation, because everyone has had different experiences. I've known people that have struggled for years before they landed like their dream job, and then they became like rock stars. I've known people that got their first dream job like straight out of school. I know people that didn't even go to school, and they started learning the profession just from watching friends and just like going or being part of the whole thing. So there's so many different ways to do it, but you need to be prepared, which I can see you are. and be looking for those opportunities. And when you see an opportunity, don't hesitate. Evaluate it, see if you can take it, and go for it. Because you know the saying, right? Like, you need to risk in order to win. So you might have to do something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone to get those opportunities, to get those chances. And once you have it, don't let go, my friend. Okay, just go for it. Yeah, I know this is a little bit of motivational speaking instead of a portfolio review, but hopefully that information is good for you as well, my friends, because that's just life. It's not about 3D, it's about life. So let's go with Adarsh Kumar. So Adarsh, let's see. Hello, sir. Hope you're having a good day. I am. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year in advance. We're almost there. I'm really looking forward for this festivities. It's been a very tough year. You guys know it. You guys have been seeing me for the last like 5-6 months, and you know all the ups and downs we've had. So a couple of vacation days will be good for me. So I'm Adarsh Kumar. I'm currently a student, but I would like to know your insights. Not trying to be like a dick about this, but insight. That's the way to spell it. Insight. If I'm going in the right direction, I would appreciate your feedback. If my portfolio reflects that I'm a job-ready artist, I want to be modeling and texturing arts. Perfect. And by the way, my English is not perfect. I'm just trying to help everyone out there with the little knowledge, little points that I might have. Ooh, good, 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 good. Okay, so on your first question, you're asking me if you're ready to work. Yes, like by just saying this, you definitely have the quality that I would look for, that I know students are looking for. Now let's take a look at how we can improve. So this is Sub D collections. Very nice, clean modeling, great. Everything from a single piece. I applaud that. That's always tricky, but yeah, this is great. Ooh, this is nice. Is this the? I've been wanting to change my camera, but they're super expensive. I'm using an old Canon, which I think looks okay-ish. You guys let me know if it's okay for the image quality, but maybe I'll change into one of this. Very cool, my friend. Yeah, this is great. So you know your way around topology, which is amazing. Always super useful. Grenades collection. You like modeling grenades. Nice. This seemed to be a little bit low poly for like games, which is great. Did you mention if you want to do games? No, you don't mention. But yeah, this looks good, man. This is a great exercise, by the way. If anyone's thinking about how to prepare like pieces for your portfolio, things like this, where you show that you can do not only one, but like several pieces for like a collection, like this guy's right here. This is always good because it tells me that you're able to keep a consistent look throughout like a project, which is a very nice skill to have. Nice, nice. How did you resolve the knots? Oh no, did you model them? Dude. Oh, this is Blender. Nice. Did you do the render in Blender or the modeling in Blender? Seriously, did you model this? Wow. Okay. So my only thing here is that it's super heavy, right? Like this is for a product render, which is great. There's a model this in Blender. Nice. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what I've been thinking. The last couple of months that I've been like dipping inside of a Blender, this is what I've been like understanding is like if you have a good grasp of topology, it's not that hard to figure out how to do it. You just need to learn the new tools inside of Blender. Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, I don't see much scratching on the leather material. It looks very clean. You do mention scratching. So if you want this to be a little bit dirty, maybe a little bit more scratches on the leather, because even like the actual leather texture is a little bit difficult to see. Maybe increasing the bump a little bit might be a good idea there. I mean, it's perfect. I'm just nitpicking here, but this looks really good, my friend. Cool. Yeah, this one was looking good. See? What I've been telling you guys about, always follow the lines of the wood on the long lines. Here, maybe remember to twist or rotate, because I do see a couple of lines going on the other direction. Looks kind of weird, but everything else looks good. Like the textures, yeah, this looks good. I did one of this a couple of years ago. This looks a little bit soft. I would need to see the reference to see if that's the way it's supposed to be. It looks a little bit soft in certain areas, but the render is good, man. It's good. It's good. Nice. Oh, cars. I haven't modeled cars in years. Nice. Do we have topology shots? There we go. Yeah, as I've mentioned before, guys, if you're a modeler or you want to be a modeler and texture artist, modeling a car is one of those like rites of passage that everyone should do at one point of their lives because it is tricky. It is tricky, but that's great, my friend. That's great. Oh, lovely, lovely. We did a revolver on the newest hard surface course. I'm not sure if it's released yet. I don't have control over that. Sometimes the platforms where we upload take a little bit longer to like process the whole thing. So stay tuned for when the final thing releases. But I show you how to model or sculpt one of this with the hard surface tools. That's nice. Like all of the detail, that's very nice. Stencils probably, which is fine. But yeah, that looks really, really good, guys. Really good. Yeah, I mean, you're ready, man. You're ready. I think for a modeling texture artist, you have everything that it takes to be one. And the same advice goes to you that I mentioned to Andrew. You need to put your name out there. You need to let people know, share, try to post a couple of this in Instagram, Facebook. You never know who's gonna see it. LinkedIn, ArtStation, like everywhere, everywhere. You want people to notice you. So just get your names out there, guys. That's the one of the first steps. Hello, Abraham. I'm currently working as a 2D, 3D graphic designer. Okay, I mainly use 3D Studio Max and 3D software. Which one? Or is that the name? I'm not sure. But actually, I'm learning Maya too, and I found your courses very, very helpful. Thank you. I don't really have a lot of time to work on my personal projects, but when I do, I try my best to improve. That's the idea. I'm willing to leave my country. That's good. Hopefully to new opportunities to work as a pro. So please take a look at my very small portfolio. Let's take a look. So this is Masi Vasisi from Algeria. Ooh, I don't think we had any Algerian students yet. So let's take a look. Nice, nice, very pretty. Nice light. This God ray looks a little bit weird because we're seeing some of the light coming from this. So I'm guessing this is a little bit of post-production. So mask this out so that the lights only come from the window. And this is not as off-putting as it is right now. But everything else looks good. Wood looks good. I mean, it looks a little bit cartoonish, of course. I know. Well, okay. Here's the thing. It looks cartoonish on certain things, and then it looks very realistic on other things. So we might need to tone down a couple of the textures, like the wood textures. I wouldn't have as much grain because that makes it look really realistic. Same for the rock. It looks very realistic, but then other things like the clock and the chair looks a little bit too cartoonish. So try to pick one of those styles and match everything. It's not bad. It's a really good piece. Just keep that in mind for like future projects. Make sure that the style remains consistent, and that's gonna be the job of the art director. He's gonna be the one, or she's gonna be the one that's gonna be telling you guys how to move certain textures, colors, proportions, things so that everything matches the concept that we're going for. First time animation, stylized animation, boy and bee. Le petit cartoon. Oh, is that French? Okay, that walk cycle is not bad. It's a little bit cycly. Looks a little bit repetitive. Did you hand animated this or were you using mocap? It kind of looks like mocap on certain areas. Interesting. Okay, so the character itself, not great. It has a couple of issues here and there. It's not super clean. Proportions are a little bit awkward. I do applaud the fact that you took the project all the way through, like modeling, texturing, like everything onto animation and rendering. That's great. That shows that you know the whole production pipeline, and it's always good. But the model is not the greatest. In this kind of cases, I would actually recommend looking for a rig, like a rig that's been used before in other like student rigs, and use them. If you guys go into Google and look for Maya rigs, there's this page called animationmethods.com/rigs, and this is like a library. They don't have the rigs; they just direct you to all of the rigs, and all of the first rigs right here, like all of these guys over here, they're free, or should be free. And there's styles for everything, like super realistic, super cartoon, proportionate, not proportionate. Some of them are really easy to use. Some of them are a little bit more complex, but they're really cool. This is the site that I recommend to my students, and this is the one that we've been using in my animation classes. And then down here is the paid rigs. So down here, all of these are paid rigs, which will give you sometimes like cleaner, more production-ready rigs. However, well, they do cost a little bit. So depending if you want to invest or not, if you're gonna be going for the animation route, having this sort of animations in your animation reel, it's totally fine. Like you don't need to mold and rig your own models if you're gonna do just animation. Having all of this guys is perfectly fine. And again, I've used some of the paid rigs, I've used some of the free rigs, and you can do great things with them. So again, animationmethods.com/rigs, and you're gonna find all of this information right here. So yeah, I mean, the environment looks good, the grass looks good, the bead looks good actually. Like the model of the bead looks really nice, really clean. The animation looks a little bit like especially here, it looks cyclic-y. So what I mean is it just looks like up and down, up and down. Here's where I would add something called like in-betweens. So instead of having the bead just going like up, down, try to add like a wave kind of movement, right? So up, down, but the head, like you delay the head a little bit, like a couple of frames, so that it looks like the movement is like moving from one part of the body to the next. We touch on some of these topics in our animation course if you want to check it out, but just like moving certain things, like the hands, maybe like let them flow like down, like as if they were swinging or something, that kind of stuff, just to add a little bit more, you know, like life to the whole thing. But it's a nice one. And then we have Stylized underwater scene. This one looks great, man. I looked at the thumbnail and it immediately caught my attention. So again, here's where you really need to be careful about the style, because the metal looks really real, like a realistic metal, and everything else looks really cartoon. So I would personally go with a cartoon metal paint, okay? Because this one, it looks like a piece of jewelry. It's a stylized model, but it's realistic materials. It's like physically based rendered materials, right? And this one, it's like a cartoon model. So everything looks good. Just be consistent with the materials. Take a look at hand painted textures, for instance, and maybe do those for the metals over here, or just dull them out so that they don't reflect as much light. Because as you can see here, like the sand, it looks like a painted sand, which looks good, but it has a little bit of a weird contrast over here. I think you're in a very good position. Your style, a lot of the European studios, like Illumination, you know, from Despicable Me, I think they're in Europe. They have this sort of like cartoonish style. So, and I know Algeria. Where is Algeria? I'm very ignorant of a lot of places. Is it Africa? It is Africa, right? Yeah. Okay, so I wasn't that that far off. So you're a little bit closer to Europe than other parts of our audience, because I know most of you guys are in India, and then I'm over here in Mexico. I had a student a couple of days ago from New Zealand, so we're all over the place, which is one of the great things about the internet. But yeah, so Europe is closer to you, and this sort of style, this sort of like stylized thing, I know that they use a lot of this out there in Europe. So go online, check some studios, like find the ones that you would like to work on or at, and send your portfolio. Even if the studios are not hiring, you just send your portfolio. You never know what's going to happen. Like the worst thing they can say is, oh, we don't have any positions open right now, but thank you for trying. That's it. Like one rejection, and it's not even a rejection. It's just saying to them, hey, there's nothing right now, so don't worry. Then when you see an opportunity, you send it again. Maybe they'll remember you, and you'll have a better shot or something. So yeah, don't be afraid of that. Don't be obnoxious, of course. Don't send your portfolio every single month, but you know, just be prudent, and you're gonna be fine. You have a great work, my friend. Just keep going, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna have some nice future here in the 3D world. So hi Abraham, hi, hello. I'm Loblu Charjish. Hopefully, again, I'm pronouncing. I'm so sorry, guys, with names. It becomes a little bit difficult, but hopefully, I'm not butchering your guys' names. Always appreciate your effort to the community. Thank you. I'm also big hats off to Nexttut. Thank you for all of this. We're really happy to with what we've done so far. I really love the community as well, and your support, guys, has been great. So thank you not only to Lovely, but to everyone else. My main goal is to be a character artist or creature designer for kind of a cinematic or something realistic. Okay. Currently, I'm a 3D product designer who's working for various consumer products. Nice. Working with 3D Studio Max, almost 8 years. It's great. 2020, I started learning ZBrush with, which always my dream to achieve, and still now going. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, a lot of work. Nice. I'm gonna focus on the characters because you said that's what you wanna eventually jump to. And here's the thing, like the fact that you've been working on 3D Studio Max for so long, 8 years, you know a lot about topology, textures, UV maps and stuff. So transitioning or specializing in something that you're already familiar with should be a little bit easier. And yeah, this is like a very typical progression, like doing a dragon head, the skulls. It's a good model, good render, by the way. It's a nice presentation. I mean, of course, things to improve, but it's an exercise, I think. And yeah, you say this. This is my very first practice. And here's where you know when someone publishes or polishes things like this and they say it's their first practice, it's not that I doubt that it's the first practice. I trust you and I know it's the first one, but I know that you have experience in 3D, because no one who's like completely new to 3D would deliver something like this on the first try. Like, you need to have at least some knowledge in form, topology, and things like this to be able to create elements like this. So that's a good one. Let's go to the newest ones, like this one. Okay. Okay. This one. The anatomy is okay. The detail is good. Maybe form could use a little bit more work, like distinguishing where certain things start and where certain things end would be a nice thing to focus on. Okay, here will be my first piece of advice, because I'm seeing this one right here, and my first assumption, which might be wrong, is that you used a base mesh, which is okay. But if you're learning ZBrush, I strongly recommend anyone that's learning ZBrush to start from scratch. This one's good. This one's good. Nice, like the wrinkles. A little bit exaggerated, I think, over here. If you're following a reference, then nothing to say. That could be someone's face. But yeah, this is good. Very nice. Proportions a little bit off here. The head seems a little bit small. The trapezius muscle seems a little bit too big. So we need to be careful there. But we're getting there. My best advice for you, my friend, you're in Malaysia. Cool. So my best advice is, you already know about 3D. You've been doing this for a lot of years, almost the same amount of years that I've been doing it for. I'm at 10 years right now. I started in 2011. You're at 8 years. So now it's time that you show, or you start bridging the two things together. So all of your knowledge in 3D Studio Max and all of the knowledge that you're showing here inside of ZBrush, like, why not take this guy, do a retopology. There's a couple of retopology videos in the channel, check them out, and paint it in Substance Painter, render it in 3D Studio Max, so with V-Ray or Arnold. I'm not sure which one you use on that one, but get a nice render from there, because those are the things that are gonna open more doors for you. Making sure that the people see your portfolio and they can tell that you know the whole process, like that you can take something from 3D Studio Max to ZBrush and back, start in ZBrush and then bring it to Studio Max and retopologize. Like, if you know the whole process and you can show that you know the whole process, that's what makes you a valuable artist. But because you can enter any pipeline and help whatever the project is about. Okay, so that's great, and we're going for our final one, which is Anjvul Tanwar. Hey, hope you're doing great. I am, thank you. We're at the end of this video, but yeah, things are going well. And let's open the link. Nice. I forgot to read the letter. Thanks for making the videos. Thank you. I'd love to if you could review my portfolio. Of course, my friend. Let's do it. See, like all of these signs right here, I know it's part of your guys' language. I just don't know how to pronounce them. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to pronounce it like an E, like an I or something. So again, I'm sorry if the names are wrong. Okay. Yeah, this looks good. Let's start with this one. Small little robot. That's nice. Just gonna go over them quickly. Okay, see, this is good, but I can definitely tell that this is just like basic shape, basic extrudes, basic bevels, and basic materials. It's a good portfolio piece. Okay, careful here with the proportions. I don't have the Wally model right here, but I remember the box being a little bit bigger. So if you take a look at the Wally, yeah, like this is, I think this is like closer to the realistic size. Like, see the size, like the wheels right here in regards to, or the proportions of the wheels in the box, they need to be a little bit closer, and yours is like super big, like a tank. So the modeling is great, it's just the proportions. And this is a great model that you could also what's the word, texture and render as well. The ant looks good. I used to do this kind of models when I was starting as well. This was what, a year ago. That's fine, it's fine. Minions. Okay. Not bad. Let's go to these things that look really cool. So I'm gonna skip. I like this one. This one's good. Textures here, or the steps, look a little bit wonky. Like, everything else looks really nice, but then the steps look a little bit, yeah, wonky. But it's not a bad model. This sort of stuff, I've done this before. You used rigid body physics and simulated it. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. right? Like it tells me that you know at least what physics are. But this doesn't mean that if I were to hire you and tell you, hey, I need to destroy this building, and I send you the building, that you're gonna be able to do it, because this is just an exercise, right? You're not saying that you're a like BFX artist, like a destruction artist. So yeah, these are the kind of things that I might not show on my portfolio because you don't want to be a destruction artist. You want to be a modder, from what I can tell here. This ones look good. Chocolates. Yeah, they look good. Maybe displacement. Here's where displacement could come into place to really push the geometry, because it looks like normal map right now. I mean, the presentation is great. Like this first shot that I saw, that was really pretty. This looks really nice. But yeah, maybe a little bit of displacement. I'm gonna be talking about displacement tomorrow. Some people were asking about the Catmull Clark thing, and I think it would be a good idea to talk about that one. Then we have weapons. Weapons are great. This one looks good, clean, nice textures, nice topology, nice variations. That's great. Yep. Yeah, this is great. Nice. Oh, nice details. Yeah. Yeah, this is great. Like as a prop artist, you're ready to go. Like there's a company. You guys might even want to check this one out. There's a company here in Mexico. It's called CGBot. I'm not sure if they do like a freelance online thing, but you might want to check it out. And they're always hiring. They always have a lot of work, and they do a lot of props. So they're a company. I worked here a couple of months, 10 years ago, literally in 2011. So video game companies hired them to do all of the, like, let's call it, it's not easy assets all the time, but they do a lot of assets for games, because they just need a lot of hands, right? So yeah, check that one out. Maybe they do hire. And then this is great, where you combine all of them in a single piece. Nice. Same thing that I've been saying to everyone. The metal edgeware. You should not have metal edgeware everywhere. It looks good, but it looks like everyone does it. Like everyone who has ever opened Substance Painter and learned at least the basics of the software, they know how to do metal edgeware. Not everyone knows the little trick that I show you guys on my videos, which is where you multiply masks so that the metal edgeware is a little bit more natural. Because it's not normal for something to be damaged like in the same amount, or at the same amount, at the same rate everywhere. Okay, the mall, it's good. It's a nice enemy. Like this could definitely work in a game, and it's, I think, ready to be rigged. You can even try rigging it. There's the rigging course, and if you take that one, you should be able to rig this one like fairly easy. But it is a good one. A little bit dense in certain areas, but I think it's fine. That's a good one. Clear cutter, that looks good. Again, careful with the metal edgeware, but the weapon looks good. The test for these weapons and for these models is to rig them. Like if you rig them and everything deforms and moves in the way that you expect, then you're already on the other, like you're doing great. This is great. I've never done one of these ones, like a bunker, I don't do a lot of mech design, to be honest. The Hyrule thing, nice. This one looks really good. One of the first ones I saw. Here, if you wanna learn something cool, look for expressions. I don't think we've talked about expressions inside of Maya. Expressions is like scripting, but you connect different attributes of objects so that if you were to like spin one of these gears, everything else would spin like at the proper rate and proper directions and stuff. You could do a crazy thing there with animation. This is great, simple but good. And this one's good. Yeah, you have a great portfolio, my friend. Just keep going at it. From what I can tell, you mentioned that you already work as a 3D. Oh no, you don't mention it, but it kind of looks like you already work as a 3D artist. I think you're doing great. It definitely tells me that you're a product or like object designer, like prop designer. If that's what you want to do, keep doing it, because you're gonna be a master of it. If you want to jump into character design and anatomy, then of course there's things that you need to learn about that. But yeah, that's good. That's great. So that's it, guys. This is it for us right now. I'm gonna pick one for the thumbnail from you guys'. I'm gonna be deleting this thing right here. Okay, so all of you guys' work will be deleted, so don't worry. We're not gonna be like distributing it or anything. and that the same link is going to be open. So if anyone is seeing this video and they're like, oh, I want my work to be featured, how do I do it? Make sure to check down here in the description of the video, not the comments, the description of the video, and there's going to be a link to this Google Drive. You create a folder with your name, drop either the images or a link to your ArtStation or to your site or whatever, and we'll review that on the next portfolio review, which is going to be December 18 and 19. I'm going to keep posting and reminding you about this, guys, through the next 2 weeks. So just bear with me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you back tomorrow with more 3D content. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. You know the deal. And yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.